Welcome, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone, to the presser today. If you can, sorry. Again, if you can raise your hand if you have a question, we'll call on you. We're going to start with President Dewayne Hankins.
Thanks, Rasan. Morning, everyone. Busy summer. How's everyone doing? Good. Just before I go into questions, I just want to kick off with a couple things on the business side. So obviously, we're really excited to see the tremendously talented team that Joe has spent the summer putting together. Obviously completed a number of trades this week, and the fans and our staff have obviously have really responded well. On the ticketing side, we renewed at 92.5% this year, which is the highest we've seen since the Western Conference Finals run in 2019. So our fans are ready to go. They're excited. Last week, did a couple of days of season ticket business that were 10 times what we've typically seen in terms of a regular day this time of year. So that's been really great. I'm excited for the in-season tournament. This will be the first year that we do that. So we've spent a ton of time with the league working on how this is going to work for the teams. It represents a great opportunity, I think, for our young players to gain experience in really pressure-filled environments, and I think it will add. It'll add some real intrigue to the early part of the season, which hasn't typically happened. Our broadcast, our role on the business side really is getting fans to fall in love with these new players. The roster's turned over a ton, and so our next-gen broadcast that we've spent the last couple of years working on, we're really excited about. We obviously changed some of the folks out on the back end, and our goal really on this one is to have a real national feel to our broadcast instead of what you typically see with local RSN broadcasts. And then this time of sort of a rapidly changing industry, I think our doubling down in terms of doing our broadcast ourselves has been really, really helpful to prepare us for the future, which is obviously up in the air as it relates to RSNs. With that, we're also going to launch season 2 of The Trail. Last year, that was 8 episodes and won a couple of regional Emmys, which was really great, and obviously was a great behind-the-scenes feature for our fans to be able to watch and get to know our players. And then finally, we spent the summer launching the G League team, the Remix. So that, many of you were there for that press conference at the end of June, which was fantastic, and we're excited on that one as well. Season ticket sales have gone off to a good start. The team is getting ready to go. Everything, the next few weeks will be the first game, the first practice, the first tryouts just happened. Those went really well. So we're excited about that. And I think it'll be a really great, again, family-friendly experience up in the Child Center, which is going to be fun. And then finally, on the community side, for those that don't know, serving on the governor's task force for the Central City Revitalization of Portland. That's been an important role that I think we're playing in that task force. And I think what's really important for us to engage with the city and try to figure out, how we can help in the revitalization of the city. So, for us, we drive 2 million people down to the Rose Quarter annually, which in the last couple of years, especially as traffic downtown has gone down, is really important to, again, bring the city back up. So I think with that, I'll take any questions that folks have.
Hi, Dewayne.
Hey, Jason.
Can you explain what you mean by a national feel for the broadcasts?
Yeah, absolutely. So for us, the national broadcast feel is we hired Greg Fonseca from ESPN to take on the production role of our team, and he has a number of ideas that are going to help. Obviously, I think for us, it's not only storytelling, really getting in depth and helping tell the stories of the players both on and off the court. It's the graphics package, it's the cameras that we use, it's all of those things. And we just really want to have, a top of the line broadcast. It's our vision that team has in place, and hoping to get that going.
Dewayne, you've talked before about the renovation, so the arena being a 3-phase, 3-summer thing. You just did the first part of it this summer. Have you decided yet or nailed down which 2 summers between now and 2030 you're going to do the rest of it?
No, that's a great question, Sean. No, we haven't nailed down those two summers. So the way we're thinking about it is we have the women's Final Four in 2030. That was awarded to us last year. That'll be a massive event for the Rose Quarter. I think, the amount of people that'll be coming from sort of all over will be great. And for us, needing to happen between those 2 years, 2 years before that, 2030 years, the year that we're looking at. And with that, again, we hope to also be in the running for an all-star game at that time. So we have to pick out those 2 off seasons. There's a couple of balls in the air in terms of obviously the lease with the city and getting that figured out, as well as some other things that we're trying to figure out in terms of other potential franchises, right? So,
Hey, Dewayne, what have season ticket or just ticket sales been like for the remix as well?
Remix has been really good. So, I'd say anytime you launch a team, you usually like to have a 12 to 18 month window. We had a 6-month window, so we're doing it on a really crunch timeline. But the support has been there, and it's been great. And what's really great about the city of Portland is they come out and show up for their teams, and so it's been about what we expected it would be, and the partnership support has been really strong as well.
Hi, what's up? Has there been any news or changes regarding ownership, and how does the ownership react to the last few transactions of the trades and the new team that's building up?
Yeah, great question, Oren. No changes on the ownership front. The team's not for sale, continues to not be for sale. Jody has continued to make efforts to really do things that are in the best long-term interest of the franchise. So you saw that with the remix and getting that up and running. We're also doing a big renovation to the practice facility with the kitchen this year, and Joe can talk a little bit about that when he's up here. And she's just been really invested in doing the long-term investment in the future. We've traded a lot of emails back and forth this weekend with ownership, and there's just a lot of excitement about the moves that Joe has made. So they're excited.
We need to talk about our Bears later, but
That was a tough one.
what's it like from a business standpoint to move forward from such a figure like Lillard? Challenges there.
Yeah. I mean, Damian was a franchise stalwart for 11 years, and beyond that, he was an incredible person on and off the court. I don't have to tell you that; you guys already know that. But it is sports, and we have to be prepared on the business side to be ready for anything. Be ready for losing seasons. Be ready for players to change. Be ready for all of that. And our goal is always to have a really strong foundation in place from a ticket sales perspective, from a sponsorship perspective, from a fan experience perspective. So for us, it's tough. He was again a legend here and will be forever. But we're also excited about the new team and the new direction that Joe has in place on the basketball side, and believe it's a really great thing for our staff to get behind and get excited about, and our fans to get excited about.
Morning, Dewayne. So obviously there's a lot of moving parts in the last few weeks. There's a lot for you to focus on, a lot for Moda obviously to focus on. With everything that's kind of going on, there's probably a lot happening. So what are some of your priorities kind of going into this next season? What are you really focused on, if you could give like 2 or 3 things that are really capturing your attention?
Good question. I think the big one for us is finding our next jersey patch partner. So we've had a couple of opportunities come up to do that, but we're really looking for someone who brings a community perspective to that patch partnership, much like you see with Moda. Our partnership with Moda is fantastic because it's not just about them being on the building, it's about everything that they help us do in the community and we help them with. So we're looking for that sort of angle, and that'll be a search that we continue to take on for the next few months. The next one is the fan experience part of it. So, as Sean alluded to, we have a couple of renovation years coming up, but in the meantime, we need to do everything we can to keep the building up and running. So, that started this offseason with the biggest single capital project we did, which was the end zone seating. That's done a lot of things to help us on the business back end. So, for instance, we can go from a concert to a game layout much quicker. The seats are better for those fans sitting in those areas, that kind of thing. We are adding some Amazon Just Walk Out stands. So if you haven't seen those, there's 4 of those that we'll be adding on the 100 level. Essentially, you're able to enter your credit card, walk in, grab what you want, and walk out. And there's a bunch of cameras that are able to reflect what it is that you picked up, and then it's a seamless sort of exit for fans. And then traffic in and out of the arena, that continues to be a big challenge for us. So we're adding things like digital signage to help with inflow and outflow of traffic.
Hey, Dwayne. A TV question. You mentioned the state of RSNs and the future of broadcasting basketball games. You've seen the Phoenix Suns and teams like that try other options to get it over the air and more accessible to fans. Have the Trailblazers started to explore those options?
So we have a really great partnership with Root Sports, and when we did the deal with them at the time, we were really looking to create as many options for fans as possible. So in going back to Root, we were able to get back on. We were on cable. We were able to get back on satellite dish and things like that. They had DirecTV stream for streaming folks. They had Fubo. We've really been watching the Jazz really close, the Suns really closely, and the Golden Knights have done something similar. And again, this industry changes all the time. We keep our deals on these things really short so that we can kind of watch things take place and see where they're headed. But our goal at the end of the day is always to have as many fans see our games as possible, and we'll always take that approach going forward in any TV deal. So. All right, thanks everyone.